While it's always tricky to determine who has won the transfer window, Arsenal certainly have a strong shout this year. New sporting director Andrea Berta has been transformational since his arrival, overseeing 8 additions to Mikel Arteta's squad over the last few months. Moreover, while a number of those players have been signed to bolster the squad, others could be real game-changers for the starting lineup, like Eberechi. The Englishman is an unbelievably exciting signing for the Premier League hopefuls, although they did sell their own version of him not too long ago. Signing a player of Eze's quality is hugely exciting and would have been enough to delight the Arsenal fan base regardless of the nature of the deal. Your star player or biggest flop has left the club, but what are they doing in the present day? This article is part of Football Fancast Where They Now series. However, the fact that it looked like the club had cooled their interest in him weeks prior, only to suddenly re-enter the conversation in the 11th hour and rescue him from Tottenham Hotspur, was enough of a story to send the fans into delirium. It's easy to see why Arteta was reportedly so keen to bring the 27-year-old to the Emirates this summer as well, as not only is he a creative force, but he also knows exactly where the goal is. Despite playing for a mid-table side last season, the Greenwich-born magician, as dubbed by Micah Richards, was an output machine, scoring 14 goals and providing 11 assists in 43 appearances, totaling 3,303 minutes. In other words, the versatile game-changer who can play in the middle of the park or out wide, averaged a goal involvement every 1.72 games, or every 132.12 minutes. Just imagine what he'll do with better players around him. Moreover, it's not just the hijacking of his move to Spurs or the quality he'll add to the side that makes this transfer so special. There is the human side, which is the fact that the club released him as a 13-year-old and has finally made his way back. In short, Eze's move to Arsenal is one of the best of the summer, even though the club sold someone who could have been described as their version of the Englishman not too long ago. It would be fair to say that fans were left quite disappointed by Edu Gasper's final summer transfer window at Arsenal, as he only oversaw 5 signings, 2 of which were the loan deals for Raheem, Sterling, and Neto. However, while he failed in the incoming front, he did do reasonably well regarding outgoings, as he saw Eddie Nketiah move to Crystal Palace for £30 million, Aaron Ramsdale joined Southampton for up to £25 million, and Emile Smith-Rowe moved to Fulham for up to £34 million. The latter was undoubtedly the one most fans were sad to see go, as even though the money was good for someone who had fallen out of Arteta's plans, there was a belief he could be something special. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the former fan favorite is the player who could have been described as the Gunners' own Eze. While he now almost exclusively plays as an attacking midfielder for the Cottagers, he would spend plenty of time in other areas of the pitch at the Emirates. For example, across his time with the Gunners, the phenomenal talent, as dubbed by one analyst, made 54 appearances in attacking midfield, 25 in left midfield, 10 in central midfield, 3 at left wing, 3 in right midfield, and he even played up top on 2 occasions. It wasn't just where he played that made him similar to the former Palace man, though, but how he played and still does to an extent, even though he wore the number 10 in North London. Another similarity to the club's new star. The Croydon-born gem was far more of a ball carrier than someone who'd play pinpoint passes like traditional 10s. In the words of his manager while on loan at Huddersfield, Danny Cowley, he was like Dennis Bergkamp but with pace. For example, in the 2021 season, his best at Arsenal, the 25-year-old ranked in the top 9% of Premier League midfielders for progressive carries and the top 14% for carries into the penalty area per 90 per FBref. Finally, in addition to the similarities in their game, both players have featured for the national team and progressed through the Gunners' legendary Hale Ender academy. Ultimately, while they have finally signed the real thing, for some time, Smith-Rowe was Arsenal's own Eze.